What up, and welcome to this week's edition of Puzzled with Allie motherfucking Pearce. This week we talk about what's puzzling her specifically with respects to her dog, and now she's just started to eat meat, and she's kind of finding it a bit fuckery up there. We talk about that. We talk about her weird little diet she's got going on, reason why she's eating meat, and we even get into some stuff about eating disorders and disordered eating. I just picked my nose. So it gets vulnerable. So tune in. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. What's puzzling me? I got these motherfucking pigeons on my goddamn deck, and I can't get rid of them. I've tried everything. I've tried the spikes. I've tried the owl. I've tried the cinnamon. I've tried the hot pepper. I have now a water gun that I just fucking... that's all I can think of. So if you know how I can get rid of my pigeons, help a brother out. It's puzzling me. Welcome to Puzzled, where we puzzle while talking about what's puzzling us. Today I have comedian extraordinaire Allie Pearce with me.
Hello.
What's up, Allie? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here with you.
Me too.
Me and Allie, we met I don't know. When did you first start doing stand-up?
I think 2017 summer.
2017. Are you serious? You've only been doing it for what is it? What day is it?
It's longer than you think.
18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2017 was 7 years ago.
I think it'll be 8 this summer.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Damn, you've done a lot.
Thanks.
I mean, I remember when I first saw you, I was like, oh yeah, that girl's funny.
Oh, that's so nice because I felt so deeply unfunny.
Really?
Well, you're it's so awkward for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, the first 2 years are brutal.
Yeah.
But then you just kind of end up leaning. But you can always tell when someone's funny.
Yeah,
you can
that's
see
true,
it.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
You see right away, you're like, oh, that person's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether they're actually funny and
they're
able to
get there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you got there. Tell me what's going on with you in your career these days, because you just got off the LetterKenny tour.
I did. I was doing that for about 3 months. So it was so crazy because you go, and then it's just done. And you're like, oh, because the craziest thing about that tour is that we're on a bus.
Sick.
So yes, but then also you can't go to the bathroom when you want.
So what kind of buses? Okay, we should just let the listeners know. LetterKenny is a show that you wrote for.
Yes, it's a show that I wrote for, and a show that I acted in for one episode, a character that I wrote, which is funny to me.
That's so sweet.
It's very sweet.
A nice little acting cred.
I did.
Sick.
Yeah. So they had a live show that had nothing to do with stand-up. Actually, that's not true because K-Trev and Mark Forward did stand-up on the show.
That's right.
But it was mostly sketches from the show.
Okay.
So they took that, and it was a sold-out North American tour for I think they did it twice maybe, and it was a huge hit. So then they wanted to do just a stand-up tour. So with anyone who was kind of involved with the show. So myself as a writer, and then Jeff McHenry, who's an actor on the show, Mark Forward, and then Olivia got to do some shows as well. Olivia Stadler's my co-writer on the show.
Sick.
So, yeah, I'm
Shout
my
out
best
to
friend.
Olivia.
Yeah, my sweet pal.
Okay, so you guys went. I was looking at your tour dates. It was packed.
Yeah.
It was February, March, April.
Yes,
correct?
exactly. Yeah.
How many places did you hit?
I think we did we ran it for 2 weeks at the end of last year, and that was about 8 shows, and then it was 40-ish when we did the full tour.
40
so
shows
in
50. 3 months.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was nutty.
So how many shows are you doing? Are you doing every Friday, Saturday? Was it just all over?
It was all over the place. So it would really depend on venues and what their availability was and kind of our routing schedule. So there was it was very funny because if you looked at it on a map, it was I can't remember now, but it's we went so far east, and then we went to the middle, and then we went so far west and came back to the middle just because of availability.
Right.
So mostly it was it made sense, but at some point it became nonsense.
How long was your longest bus ride?
Oh, well, here's the thing. I didn't experience a lot of them because I was sleeping most of the time.
Nice.
So, which is great. So generally they were short enough that you would finish the show, you would shower, we'd get on the bus, and then we would get into our bunks and sleep on our way to the next destination.
You had bunk beds in the
Yes, ma'am.
bus, but no bathrooms?
There's a toilet, but you cannot shit in it.
So
So if you gotta go, you gotta tell the driver. And
I gotta take a shit.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
My sister has a terrible shitting story, which you should all hear
I
about.
can't wait.
She lived in Ghana for a little bit,
Okay.
and obviously she's like, her stomach is reacting to everything, and she she's gonna love that I'm telling you guys this. She like was on the public school bus or like the public bus, and she immediately had to take a big shit, and she had to like stop the bus. So she stopped the bus and got off, but she like ran into the bushes.
Oh my God.
Took a shit. There were worms
Stop.
in her shit, and then she like was in like distress, obviously, but like has to get back on the bus and on with the show. And she comes on the bus, and one of the women was like, next time you go to the bathroom, you have to lean against the bus, otherwise everyone can see you. So like she had this entire bus of like people looking at this like white girl taking a huge shit.
Just shitting worms.
Yeah, shitting worms.
And did that go away?
It went away, and she's okay.
Thank the Lord.
Was there any like emergency stops that you guys had to do?
Here's the thing. I think because no, but I'll tell you a shitting story if you want one, because it's kind of related to what we're talking about later. I feel this is a myth, but I'm going to perpetuate it anyways. I feel like, you know how, because as women, we're very in tune with our cycles.
Totally.
I feel like I was able to cycle appropriately. So like I never had to go when we were on the bus.
I mean, aren't you like, isn't it, for me, it's like morning, 10 a.m.
We're generally already wherever we need to go. But, well, I will say it could have been because I really tried to keep a clean diet. And I would say maybe not everybody was following the same kind of rules as I was.
Right.
So they were, they went to a Brazilian steakhouse.
Ooh.
Right? And I had lettuce there. So
so sweet.
So I was on a different schedule.
Other than the, shitty... The shitty situation with the washrooms, was it like a pretty sweet to be on a bus with everyone?
Amazing. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it's like you feel like a rock star.
Yeah.
You're just like, I actually, because I'm very type A, going to airports is like a nightmare. Like I'm always there unreasonably early, and like I'm so meticulous, and like anyway, so to take that out of the travel equation,
right? You
literally just get on the bus and then you're on your way, and you can like, and also it's like white noise and you're being rocked to sleep.
Oh, totally. And you're in a bunk bed in a bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's
the only thing about the bunks is that we were very spoiled because they can be configured two ways. So it's either 3 per row or 2 per row, depending on how many people are on the crew.
Okay.
And because we were normally it's a band, right? So there's like a ton of people, but because we were such a small amount, we were able to configure for 2 per row instead of 3. But my particular row wasn't configured when I got there. So the first night I had to sleep in it the way that most people have to sleep in it. And it was terrifying. It was like being in a coffin. Ooh. Yeah. I like couldn't bend my knees. You like you have to like slide in. It's really scary. I don't know how, like, I have so much respect for these crew guys that do like months on the road, and they're just like,
can you even turn on your side?
It's really uncomfortable.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I love airports.
I like it once I'm there and I'm relaxing.
Right.
But it's the like...
getting to.
Oh, yeah.
You ever missed a flight?
Nope.
I've missed so many.
But have you paid dearly for it, or has it always worked out?
One time.
Okay.
One time I paid dearly. One time I was at the airport at my gate, and I missed the flight.
You are like the 10th person recently to tell me that. I think that happens a lot more than people give credit for.
That makes me feel good, because I feel like I'm the only person that has done that.
No.
So
and like,
good.
I'm talking people who are like me, who are there. Like, I'm thinking of 2 people in particular who are like literally logistics for a living and missed their flight because they were sitting at the gate.
Well, it's because you got your earphones in.
Yeah.
And then, the problem was I didn't have earphones, so I was like, oh, I'll go get earphones, and there was a huge lineup, and I'm the type of person that will wait until the lineup is done and then I'll get on. I don't care what zone I'm in. I'm gonna get on at the very end because I don't want to sit on a plane for any longer than I have to.
Yeah.
But so I saw a huge lineup, and I was like, sick. I got time to run to the store, grab my earphones, and when I was looking out, looking out the store, and I was like, the lineup's huge still. So I like took my time, chose some sweet ones, and then when I got back, I'm like, still a lineup, and then I sat there. And then I realized the lineup was the wrong lineup, and my flight had boarded, and the gates were closed. And
but my God.
Sweet hack. If you miss your flight, go to like, the flight desk. Yeah. But then you just say, I missed my flight. What do we do? Which is nice because then they're involved in the process. Like, what do we do?
That is so funny.
You invite them in. So if you ever do miss a flight.
Oh my God. I had to miss a flight on purpose recently because I had a back injury, and this is boring, but the flight was purchased on points and you couldn't get the points back. Oh. So the flight, there was nothing that could be done. And I didn't want to cancel it just in case I got better, right. But there was no way to get the points back either way, so I was like, I'll just wait and see. And just the thought that my name, even though I knew I wasn't going, the thought that my name was being called at the airport was making me sweat.
We are different.
I know.
And I love us for that.
I love us for that too.
Okay, but you know what we do have in common? Our love for puzzles.
I love a puzzle.
Do you love a puzzle?
I love a puzzle.
Tell me about your puzzling history.
Okay, it's actually recent. It's recent that I got into puzzles.
Nice. Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
A little late.
Story checks out.
No, you're right. Yeah, I guess.
You're right on time.
Whenever I'm deep in a puzzle, sometimes when I close my eyes at night, I'm doing the puzzle in my half sleep state. Does this happen to you?
No.
I'm not well. I don't remember when we got on a cake. Oh, I think my boyfriend and I did one at his parents' place when we were visiting over the holidays, and I was like, this rocks so hard. And then I bought a couple of them. I brought them home, and then I realized that I had nowhere to do them. So I did them on the floor and absolutely obliterated my back.
Oh.
Just trying to finish it because I was crunched over, and my dog sheds like crazy, so I was vacuuming around the puzzle, just trying to preserve the integrity of the puzzle. Yeah, I love it.
You do love it.
Yeah, I love it.
That wasn't the back pain that fucked you over for going on the plane, though, was it?
No. Okay. No, that was a whole other
back pain.
I
the reason I love puzzles because I find it to be what do you love about it? I should ask you.
One thing that I like, I think, is that I'm not on my phone.
Okay.
So it's a nice way to be engaged in something actively that's relaxing.
Right.
And
it's a hobby.
It's a hobby
other than fun. Being on your phone at nighttime. Yeah, I feel that.
Why do you like it?
Well, I find it to be philosophical, or not meditative.
Yeah.
But also adds to if you never. Sometimes you get stuck on a puzzle and you get stuck at a part and you're like, I don't fucking know. And if you don't keep going, then the puzzle never gets done. Yeah. But if you just try one piece at a time, it will eventually get there, and then it'll get into another groove again. And I find that that's what helps me when I'm stuck in, even in starting this podcast. I'm I don't even know where to begin. The beginning of the puzzle is always the hardest. But when you start one puzzle piece at a time, it's okay, and then you get on a roll, and then you get excited. So whenever I feel stuck in a creative project, I'm always one puzzle piece at a time, fish.
And that's kind of like joke writing too,
totally,
right? You'll start something and you're I know this premise has legs, but I just can't crack it. And
totally.
Then it's over time, it'll come to you, or if you just sit with it long enough, something will happen. You just have to show up to it.
You just have to show up.
Yeah.
Let's show up.
Let's show up.
So what is this puzzle up? Okay, let's start puzzling.
Okay, let's start puzzling.
Because we're just.
Do you have a technique?
My technique is outer edges.
Edges,
right? Ava, who is the other guest, had no. She was wherever I feel like it, and I was you're fucked.
I mean, I guess if you have a really strong center, you could, but.
She went with defining features, so she's this eye. She was oh, then I would start with that. But I'm nah, man.
That's fair. I'm totally an edge
okay,
lord.
Let's get into this. So tell me what this puzzle is of.
This puzzle is of my sweet puppy Goldie.
Oh, it's your puppy.
Yeah, I mean, she's not a puppy. She's 4.
She's 4 years old?
Oh, and it's fun because I'm seeing my carpet because this picture was taken on my carpet. Okay, yes.
That was cute.
That was cute. Yeah, so this is my dog Goldie. I've had her for we got her during the pandemic. My fiance, actually, I should say.
Wow.
Yeah, we just got engaged a couple months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
How long you been with him for?
Or
her.
It'll be him, but
Always
Yeah.
always room.
yeah, always room. We've been together for it'll be 5 years in August.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So
Okay, a while.
yeah, like quite a while. But we're actually we were together probably for like 8 months when the pandemic happened. So we were like still pretty fresh. And then it was kind of like
Oof, 8 months
8
into
months.
a pandemic, you guys were,
yeah, and then it was like
or 8 months in, you were.
yeah,
Okay.
and then it was like now we live together. And it was so awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, if this is what it's going to be, like this rocks, you know?
That's so sweet. How'd you
Yeah.
guys meet?
Tinder.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's how I met my my current partner.
Really?
Well, not Tinder. It was Hinge. So I'm a little classier than you.
Yes, I know. It is notoriously a terrifying place.
Especially to meet dudes. I've
I
heard.
know.
Like,
It is funny. Like we definitely joke about that because I had been coming out of a relationship and I was like, I am going on here to get laid and have zero connection to anybody. And honestly, I think he was a little bit in that boat too. So it's kind of funny that it turned out that way. But then we adopted our dog during the pandemic.
Oh, you got
That's why I
a
brought it
pandy
up.
dog.
We got a pandy dog. So it was kind of like it was a huge step, and I didn't know how we were going to do with that once we weren't home all the time.
So hang on.
Yes.
Back the train up.
Lay
So
it on me.
you were together for 8 months.
Yeah.
Super in love at that point.
Yeah.
Decided to live together.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
Well, actually, we
you guys
both
sound like lesbians, by the way.
yeah, and I like that actually.
Yeah.
We were, so his parents, he grew up in Prince Edward County, so his parents live like in the country.
Beautiful.
Yeah, which is really nice. And we each had separate apartments, and we were like,
He lived in Toronto, though.
He lived in Toronto,
Mhm.
and we were trying to respect like how we both had roommates, and it was like, how do you see each other without like infringing on other people's comfort levels? It was like that whole conversation that I think a lot of people were having at that time.
Right.
And then we were like, we're going to go visit his parents and just like make sure that they're okay. Cause they're kind of like, they're a little bit isolated, not like very, but you know, they're kind of on their own out there. And then we stayed for 3 months.
Oh, damn.
We were supposed to go for a weekend, and we stayed for 3 months. And so it was like,
That's wild that you guys all got along and were
Yes.
okay with his parents.
I know. And that to me was like, oh yeah, if we can have like piss ourselves laughing fun here, like we're fine.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was just like this weird social experiment that went really well.
That's so interesting. I'm so happy to hear that because a lot of people's pandemics with their partners were quite different.
Very different. I think it really showed people either the cracks or the light, depending which way you look at it, you know? So
that's a good way to put it as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, it was a good way to put it. That surprised me, actually.
It's because we're puzzling, man. You get philosophical when you puzzle.
So philosophical. I see her little whiskers.
Cute. Okay, that's sweet. And then you got a pandemic dog.
Yeah.
Where did you get this dog? Was it a rescue? Was it are you a good human? What are you?
Yes, I am. It was a rescue. She came from Texas.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I won't say the organization because I want to talk shit about them, and they have a history of like taking people to court.
Shut up.
Whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm so glad we had a good experience with them, and we really did. And my dog is a perfect angel. But they are. They have like a history of. I don't even remember now, but there's like all these articles about how they like. They don't take dogs in safely, and they like it's like an adoption mill. Do you know what I mean? Like they're taking on way more, so then dogs like go to people before they're ready, and then they get like, I don't know, they're like not well or whatever. So just like shit like that, where people were like, we're going to expose you. And then they're like, we're taking you to court, and it's defamation. And they have all these like weird clauses when you sign a contract to adopt a dog that you're not going to talk about them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I want to
Freaky
expose their
deaky.
name.
Oh, I'll tell you later.
Okay. But
Oh, don't worry. People are doing it.
People are taking
people.
them to
Oh,
court.
yeah. That's the reason I'm like not taking it on. It's like been a thing for a while.
So in my head, I was like, oh, it's because, you know, then they don't get adopted. They take on way too many dogs, and then the dogs all get euthanized is where my mind went.
No, they actually, I mean, I will say this, like, they take them from high kill shelters. Like Goldie came from a shelter in Texas that I think would have absolutely euthanized her.
Okay.
So thank God that didn't happen.
Okay. So they take okay.
Yeah. So there's some good.
Sure.
There's some good in there for sure.
Okay. I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Oops,
sorry.
No, that's good. I wanted to ask you. Well, I was gonna get into why we were puzzling your dog. There was a thing. Do you want to get into it? Are we ready?
I chose my dog because, like, she really is my favorite thing. Like I just think she's like the most joy-inducing.
Sick. Sorry.
I know her little rump. I just think she's like what a pure thing to have a dog, you know? Like, it's just so nice. It's like they don't have an agenda.
Totally.
They're just hanging out, and they love you and you love them, and it rocks so hard. And like, I do think that she makes me better because sometimes I don't want to leave the house, and then I have to. And it's like, you know, you just like get going.
Oh, you mean to go for walks? Okay,
yeah, to go for walks. And like, even sometimes, like, I took her on a shorter walk because I was coming here, but I know I'm going to take her for a longer one later. So I'm like, I have a surprise for her later, but like, she doesn't know. It's like a nice thing, but part of my, I don't know, attitude has always